joining. I'm okay. Fine. So here
Yes,
is
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
question.
The classes
Yeah,
are just
yeah, yeah.
finished now, so they would have gone
Oh,
for a
they'll
break.
take.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine, fine. I am not speaking. Only if I speak, sound will be audible. I am not speaking. I am waiting. Here are two questions for you to solve. Question number 1. You have to find out what is the current through the 4 ohm resistor. Question number 2. You have to find out what is the potential difference across the 4-volt battery or 4-volt cell. So you have two questions. I want you to answer them. So here is the first one and there was the second one. So you please try to work this out and then answer. I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Yeah. I will show. Here is the first question. And then I gave you one more question. I have still not got papers for more than half of you all. Poor state of affairs. So please work on it. Please get it soon. Then assignments, I gave you 2 assignments. I got it only from some 5-6 people only I got. The others have not submitted the assignments. Resistor of the resistance near the 10-volt battery. This one ignore. Sorry, ignore. In the question there was nothing mentioned, so just ignore that. There is no internal resistance in the 10-volt battery. Here the internal resistance is 1 ohm given to you. This was a 4-volt battery. That is also given, and this is 5 ohms. Okay. So, so my dear friends, today I'm just going to do revision. I'm going to do some problems. So there are some of you who seem to be quite good. I don't want to waste your time, but at the same time, I don't want to get pressurized and I don't want to do only difficult questions. So I want to do some simple questions first so that all of us understand. Okay. So if it makes sense, please attend. If it doesn't make sense, you may skip and then you may go. No problem. So here is a question. The question is, what is the current through the 4 ohm resistor? So whenever I get a question, the first step is to try to draw the currents. Okay. So you can start from anywhere. That's what I've been telling you always. So I will start from here. So I always like to start from the one which has the highest voltage. So this is 6. So this is I1, I'll say I1. So the I1 is going this way. And from here, let I2 be going. So it goes this way, it comes this way. So both I1 plus I2 will come this way. And then again it goes. So I1 goes back this way and I2 goes back this way. Okay, so the first step is to make sure that you have drawn all the currents. Once you have drawn all the currents, now identify loops. You see, I have two variables, I1 and I2. So for this, if I write two equations, my job is done. So I will try to write two equations and then I will try to work it out. So how do I go ahead with it? So let me see. So first I will take this particular loop. Yeah, if I take that particular loop, I have 2 times I1 plus 4 times I1 plus I2. Then I'm going from negative to positive. So I'll be gaining. So equal to 4 here in the direction of current. So I'll be losing plus I1 is equal to 4. Again, I'm going from negative to positive plus 6. So if I simplify this, it looks like 2I1, 4I1, 6I1, 7I1. So 7I1 plus 4I2 is equal to 10. So this is my first equation. Yeah. Then I take another loop. I can take this big loop here. I can take this small loop here. So it makes sense for me to take this small loop. So I'll take that small loop. So I will get 3I2 plus 4I1 plus I2 is equal to 4. That means 4I1 plus 7I2 is equal to 4. Now pretty simple. I have to find I1 plus I2, so I just simply add them. If I add them, I'll get 11 times I1 plus I2 is equal to 14. So the question is, what is the current through the 4 ohm resistor? So the current through the 4 ohm resistor is I1 plus I2. So I'll quickly get it as 14 divided by 11. Okay. So this is how you work with it. So if you systematically work with it, there is no way you will ever go wrong. Those of us who are finding it difficult, take a break, take a deep breath, and then redraw the diagram, and then start working the way I did. I'll do 3-4 more questions, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about the speed and other things. You just worry about your ability to work it out and reach the conclusion. Okay, so I'll just wait. I'll just check up if there are anything. Sir, where can we get the key? Okay, message, I'll send you the key. Okay, so here it is, right? So this is the first one. Now, please work out the second question. So here is the second question. Please try to work this out. Again, systematically, if you approach, you will be able to do it. The question is, what is the potential difference across the 4-volt cell? So the potential, this is a point A here. This is a point B here. You find out the potential difference across this. How do you do that? So first step, again, mark the currents. So current will go this way, current will go this way, current will go this way, go this way, this way, this way. So let me write down loop law and then see what it is. So here in the direction of the current. So I'm going from negative to positive to negative. So I'll lose minus 4. Sorry, I'm writing all the losses first. So 4, again I'm going to lose plus 5I is equal to 10. So when I rearrange, I'll get 6I is equal to 10 minus 4. So I'll get I is equal to 1 ampere. So if I is equal to 1 ampere, now the question is, what is the potential drop across the cell? So let me find out. So I'll have VA. I'm going this way, VA. Then I'm gaining. I am gaining. So I will add 4 against the current, which is 1 ampere. So I am going to gain again, plus 1 is equal to VB. So VB minus VA will become equal to 5 volt. So the question was, what is the potential difference across the cell? So the potential difference across the 4-volt cell is VB minus VA, which is equal to 5 volts. Okay, so remember, whenever you are charging a battery, the potential difference, whenever we are charging a battery, the potential difference will be more than the EMF of the cell. Okay, so whenever we are charging a battery, the potential difference will be more than the EMF of the cell. So that is basically what we are seeing. Even now the EMF of the cell is 4 volt, but when we find out what it is, it comes out to 5 volt. Okay, so let me just check if there are any questions from your side. Yeah, so there seem to be no questions. Okay, I'll check. Basically, I'm getting so many messages, I'm getting confused as to whom I have sent, whom I have not sent. So anyway, please message me once again. I will see why I have not sent it to you. What is the problem I am facing? I will see and I will send it to you. Okay, but many of your friends have got it. If you can directly get it from them, it will be a great, yeah, great thing. Then let me work. Give me a minute, and I will give you the next question. The color codes, you don't have to mess. You don't have to resist. You don't have to learn it. You don't have to work it out. The moment you go to the lab, they will tell you. They will tell you something like they will tell you some mnemonics. Okay, so I think this is black, blue, something. I don't know color code, so please don't ask me. You will never you will never need it. I have never seen questions in JEE or in NEET exam based on the color codes. But I should say I should not say it has never come. It has come only once. It has come. But if I get it, I'll just leave it. There is nothing else that I can do. But I can't remember those color codes. So I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it. You learn it, you will be able to learn it. Okay, don't worry. You will get it because you will keep doing it. Once you do keep doing it, you will get it. Because earlier they used to have a 5-code system. Now they have changed it to a 3-code system. So things are different now. So that is why I don't remember it. But anyway, next time I'll memorize it and I will come. Then we will see. Yeah. Okay. Now here is a question. So I have a bulb. I'm sorry. This is P1, this is P2. Connected to a 110-volt battery. Question is, what is the ratio of power across, power from each? What is the ratio of power from each? Here, P1 is given, P2 is given. Okay, so the way I will work it out, let me just check if there are any solutions. Color code, yeah, I'll teach you. Next class, I'll teach you. You don't have to memorize the color codes. There are some mnemonics available for that. If you can just remember those mnemonics, you will be able to get it. Here, please calculate what is the ratio of power output in each of these bulbs. These are two bulbs. What is the ratio of power output in each? I was expecting answer by now. Yeah, I was expecting answer. The moment you see the question, I'm expecting answer at least from some of y'all. Okay, so basically because they are in series, the same current passes through them. So the power is I squared R. So the ratio of powers from P1 to P2, ratio of powers from P1 to P2 will become equal to I squared R1 by I squared R1 by I squared R2. So now what this will happen is this will become equal to R is equal to V squared by P1 by V squared by P2. Rating is always on 220 volts. So this will become equal to P2 by P1. So I should, the moment you see the question, whenever there is a series, it should be P2 is to P1. The ratio will be P2 is to P1. Yeah, is it done? Yes, but V is not the same. Oh, you guys are again getting confused. The rating of a bulb is a constant. Okay, it is done in the shop. Always at 220 volts. This is a constant. It is the same. There is no change. I am not talking about the potential in this circuit. What is changing is the potential in this circuit. So that I am not at all concerned about that. I am only worrying about I squared R. So when I write V squared by R1, that V is not equal to, is not based on I. Okay, I am only writing about R1. R1, what is R equal to? So V squared by R is equal to power. So R is equal to V squared by P. And what is this V equal to? This V is equal to the standard voltage. Now, what is the standard voltage? The standard voltage is 220 volts. So that is equal to that much. So that is what I am trying to say. Okay. Okay, so I'll keep giving you some questions and I'll keep working out a few questions like this. Just 1 minute. Huh? Okay, so here, 1 minute. This is a 4 mu f capacitor. This is a 2 mu f capacitor. This is a 2 mu f capacitor. Okay. The charge on this plate is 80 microcoulomb. The charge on this is 3, not 2, 80 microcoulomb. The question is, what is the charge on the other plates? The charge on the capacitor is on this capacitor is 80 microcoulomb. The question is, what is the charge on the rest of the plates? Okay, so the way the way to do it is this. See, the charge on this plate is 80. So suppose that is that will be plus 80. Suppose then the charge on this will be minus 80. If the charge on this is minus 80, the charge on this and this will be plus, because this is isolated. So if it is isolated, the total charge on that system will be 0. So let me call this Q1 and Q2. So I have Q1 plus Q2 will become equal to 80 microcoulomb. Also, these two will have the same potential. Charge will distribute till potential is the same. So these two will have the same potential. Now you know that C is equal to Q by V. So you know V will become equal to Q by C. So you will have Q1 by 2 is equal to Q2 by 3. So from there I can say Q1 by Q2 is equal to 2 by 3. So now this 80 will be divided in the ratio 2 by 3. So this will become 32 and this will become 48. Because this is minus, this will be plus. Because these are plus, this will be minus here. That means charge from here will be going this way. Yeah. So I hope it is understood. Okay, so here is a question. The driving battery of 10 EMF and 1 ohm internal resistance. So this driving battery has 10 volt EMF and 1 ohm internal resistance. Okay, is used in a potentiometer. A cell of known EMF E1, a cell of unknown EMF E1 and internal resistance 1 ohm. So this cell has EMF this much and internal resistance 1 ohm, is balanced against AC length. Okay, so this is AC length. Here is a question: when jockey is touched with wire AB at C such that AC is equal to 40. If AC is equal to 40 cm, they are asking you find the EMF of the cell. They are saying in this particular question, if the balance point happens at 40, they are asking you to find out the EMF of the cell. So this one, the question is, what is the EMF of the cell? If the balance point is at 40, what will be the EMF of the cell? Okay, so the way we go ahead with this is this. 1 minute. So the way we go ahead with this is this. First, we need to understand, see, the balance point is given. Balance point is given as 40, but all other values are given. The internal resistance is given to you as 1 ohm. So let the resistance of this 99 centimeters be equal to some R. So can I say the current is equal to 10 divided by 3 plus R? I is equal to 10 divided by 3 plus R. So if I is equal to 10 divided by 3 plus R, okay, some data seems to be missing. Okay, so the data which is missing is that this has a resistance of 99 ohms. Sorry, I missed that. So that has a resistance of 99 ohms. So that is the answer. So now you should be able to get it. First, get the value for I. Once you get the value for I, then it's all done. It is given to you that this is having 99 ohms. So if it is 99 ohms, so 10 divided by 102 is the current in the answer, current. So that I 99 centimeters, 99 ohms. So 40 centimeters will be into 40. So that should be equal to E1. So you can simplify it. It is equal to 400 divided by 102. So that is 200 divided by 51. Yeah, so 200 divided by 51. So approximately 3.9 something. That will be the answer. Okay. Yeah, so if you are getting it, then here is the next question. I have a cuboid. I have a cuboid of LBH. So this is L, this is B, and this is H. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm connecting the cuboid in the first case this way, in the second case this way, in the third case this way. Okay, so case 1, case 2, case 3. I can use different colors for that. Doesn't matter. Then this way. So suppose R1 is the resistance here, R2 is the resistance here, R3 is the resistance here. Question is, what is R1 is to R2 is to R3? Okay, so if you can find out. There is a cuboid, conducting cuboid, LBH. LBH, these are the dimensions of the cuboid. I am asking you what is R1 is to R2 is to R3. R1 represents wires connected this way. R2 represents, I have given you all the dimensions. This is L, this is B, and this is H. Okay, if this is done, this is the next question. Yeah, so I'll help you answer the previous one. So can't hear your voice. Please explain the previous question. Previous question, I didn't explain anything. This one, I hope you have been able to understand. So the way you go ahead with this one is this. This resistance is given to you as 99 ohms. So if this resistance is given to you as 99 ohms, so the current in the circuit is going to be equal to 10 divided by 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 99 is 102. So this is the current in this particular circuit. Now in this particular loop, the galvanometer is showing 0 reading. So this into 40 must be equal to E1. So from there, I'll be able to get the value for E1. That was the question. What is the EMF of the cell? So it will be like 400 divided by 102, which can be written as 200 divided by 51. You can find out, divide it and find out 3.99 or 98 or whatever it is. So you can do this particular question, right? The next question I am asking, there is a cuboid. Cuboid has a LBH, dimensions are given to you. So if the LBH dimensions are given to you, the question is what is R1 is to R2 is to R3. So the way you go ahead with it is, first you need to understand the diagram. So here is the diagram for that. So this one is L, this one is B, this one is H. And you know R is equal to rho L by A. So understand the resistivity. Resistivity is a resistivity depends on the nature of the material. So since the material is the same in each direction, resistivity will be the same. In this case, in the case of one, the length is L, but the cross sectional area is B into H. So R1 will become equal to rho L by B into H. Same way, when you connect it this way, R2 will become equal to rho L is B divided by L into H. In the other case, R3 will become, when you connect it this way, R3 will become equal to rho H by L into B, because the cross sectional area is changing. each time. So I asked you for the ratio. So it becomes L by BH is to B by LH is to H by LB. So if you multiply this with L, this becomes L squared. If you multiply this with B, that becomes B squared H squared. So now these will get cancelled and the answer is L square is to B square is to H square. So that will be the ratio of R1 is to R2 is to R3. Resistivity of the material is a property of the material. It is a constant for a given material. Resistivity will be constant. It doesn't change. On the other hand, the resistance of a conductor depends upon its geometry. Now, if you look at the 3 dimensions, because it's a cuboid, the geometry is changing. Now, because the geometry is changing, its resistance will be changing. So that's how you go ahead with it. Okay. Now, if that is understood, let's go to the next question that I wrote for you. Here, this is the next question that I wrote for you. This was question number 1. This was 3. So that was 2 actually. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. Yeah, we are doing question number 6. So question number 6, I am asking you, what is the current through this resistor BF? Value of the BF resistor is 1 ohm through this 1 ohm. So the current question is, what is the current through these two? BFCE, and what is I1 and I equal to? What is I and what is I1 equal to? Yeah. Yeah, this is the last question, the 6th one. Twelve, 6, okay. Okay, so Ranjit Kumar, yes, you got it right. Ashwin got it right. Okay. Okay, so I'll do it for you. Now, this is where we want to use the concept of symmetry, Wheatstone bridge, whatever we studied. Now, you see, this doesn't look like a Wheatstone bridge, but if you see, this is 2, this is 2, this is 2, this is 2, this is 4, 4, 4. So, this point and this point will be at the same potential. So, this point and this point will be at the same potential. So, even though this doesn't look like a Wheatstone bridge, the concept of a Wheatstone bridge can still be applied, and you can infer by symmetry, you can infer that there won't be any current here, any current here. So those wires can simply be removed. If those wires are simply removed, 12 volt is passing is across this. So the current will be 12 by 6. So that will be 2 ampere. Then here it is 12. So 12 by 12, 1 ampere. So it will be 1 ampere here and it will be 2 ampere here. Okay, now, yeah, so the job is done. How do you get 3 and 2? How is I1 equal to 2? I1 equal to 2, I is not equal to 4, I is equal to 3. Okay, so 6, 5, this was the previous question, 4. Okay, so if you all are able to do that, here is the next question. These are all 1 ohm resistors. All are 1 ohm resistors. All are 1 ohm resistors. There are 5 of them. They are all connected in different combinations to a 3-volt battery. There is no internal resistance. The power generated here is P1. The power generated here is P2. The power generated here is P3. They are asking you to arrange P1, P2, and P3 in increasing order. Arrange for P1, P2, P3. P1, P2, P3 is the total power loss in the circuit. P1, P2, and P3 is the total power loss. Total power loss in the circuit. Okay, the question is arrange in the circuits. This is given R1, this is circuit 2, circuit 3. The question is arrange the power losses in each of them in increasing order. Okay, arrange them in increasing order. No, these are not Wheatstone bridges, nor are they shown differently. No, P1 equal to P2 greater than P3 is wrong. My answer, all are 1 ohm resistors. My answer I have not worked out, but I feel P2 will be the highest, followed by P3, followed by P4, P1. So my answer is this: P3, P2 is the largest. So you want it in increasing order. So P2 is the largest, followed by P3, and P1 is the least. This is my answer. Power of the circuits means, yeah, you can take it as equivalent resistance and find out the powers. Yeah, true. So, okay. Yeah. There's an error. There is an error. I made an error. No error. I am correct. What I have said is correct. No, what I have said is wrong. But the logic that I was going to say is correct. Okay, so P1 I think is the largest. Sorry, P2 is the largest, followed by P1, followed by P3. I think somebody reported this answer. I made a small error. Fine, I'll explain it to you. So now this is a Wheatstone bridge. We have already done this. So I can simply remove the middle resistor. If I remove the middle resistor, this is equal to 2R. This is equal to 2R. 2R in parallel. Answer is R. So the power loss in the first circuit is going to be equal to V squared by R. So that will be V squared by 1. Okay. Now this is 2. This is 1 by, this is 2. So all these three are in parallel. So you have 1 by R is equal to 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. So the LCM is like 2. So you have 4 plus 4, 4 by 2. So R will become equal to 1 by 2. So it will become again V squared by 1 by 2. Okay. Here it is V squared by 1. So now when you go by this is going to be more than 1. Because this is going to be more than 1, the power here will be the least. Power here is the least. So if you look at the three resistors, this is R effective is greater than 1. R effective is less than 1, R effective is equal to 1. So accordingly, you can answer the question. Lowest R will have the highest power output. So P2 is power output, followed by P1, followed by P3. Yeah. Okay, so nobody gave the correct answer. This is also wrong. Yeah, okay, now fine, no problem. Okay, so please understand how to work out on these kinds of questions. The power loss is equal to V squared by R effective. So all that you need to do is find out what is the R effective in each of the three cases. Now, once you get the R effective value, V squared by R effective. So from there, you will be able to get the answer. Okay. Okay, so I'm mostly done with it. I'll wait for you guys to work out on those assignments that I have given. I'll arrange for some extra classes to work out those assignments. Here is another question. Simple ones. This is 2 kilo ohms. This is 6 kilo ohms. This is 1.5 kilo ohms. This is 24 volt. The question is, one, what is the current through the battery? What is the current through battery? The second question is, what is the current through the 1.5 kilo ohm resistor? What is the current through the 1 kilo ohm resistor? Okay, that can be another question. What is the ratio of power? Ratio of power output across 6 kilo ohm and 1.5 kilo ohm resistor. What is the ratio of power output across 6 kilo ohm and 1.5 kilo ohm resistor? First one, what is the current through the battery? Second one, what is the current through the 1.5 kilo ohm resistor? What is the ratio of power output across 6 kilo ohm resistor and 6 and 1.5 kilo ohm resistor? Some of these are very simple. Some of them may take little bit of working from your side. So if you want to find out the current through the battery, you have to find out the effective voltage, effective resistance. There is nothing else that you can do. So these two are in parallel. So the parallel means 6 into 1.5 by 6 plus 1.5. So that will be 7.5. So this will go 1.2 kilo ohms. 1.2 plus 2 will give you 3.2 kilo ohms. So the current I in the circuit will become equal to 24 divided by 3.2 into 10 power 3. So that will make it 24 by 3.2 milliampere. So I can find this out. So 8 will go 3 times, 8 will go 0.4 times. So 30 by 4 will give you 7.5. So it is 7.5 milliampere. And what is 7.5 milliampere? That is the current through the circuit. So this one, I hope all of you are able to understand. So this will be 7.5. It comes this way. Now the current divides itself. Current divides itself in the ratio such that the potentials will become the same. So if potentials have to become the same, the currents will divide in the ratio 4:1. because that is inverse ratio of resistance. So 4:1 means the current here will be 6 milliampere and the current here will be 1.5 milliampere. So that also does it. Now I asked you what is the ratio of power output across each. Now this one, did you understand this 5 milliampere and 6 milliampere? See, the current divides it. Now this is a parallel circuit. Now because it's a parallel circuit, the potential will be the same. So potential will be the same means I1 R1 must become equal to I2 R2. So I1 by I2 will become equal to R2 by R1. So R2 by R1 will be like 1:4. Yeah, so accordingly I divided it in the ratio 1:4. Then the last part of it is very simple. What is the ratio of power output across 6 kilo ohm and 1.5 kilo ohm resistor? So ratio of power will become, because these two are in parallel, V is the same. Because V is the same, I can say it will become V squared by R1 by V squared by R2. So that will make it R2 by R1. R2 by R1 means it will become 4:1. Yeah. So greater power will be dissipated here and lesser power will be dissipated across the 6 ohm resistor. So accordingly you can work it out. So done. Yeah, can you please sit down, and all of you, can you please work it out? So if this is done, I think I am done. I will just stop today. I'll expect you guys to work out all your assignments and then come back. Tomorrow, most probably, I'll be starting the next chapter. That is moving charges and magnetism. Maybe by the time I'll also get a chance to look through your performance in the test. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a discussion of the question paper, and day after tomorrow I will start with the new chapter. Please make sure that you are doing some reading. Only if you read, you will be able to understand. I'll arrange for 3-4 doubt clarification classes for this in the evening. So if you attend it, maybe it will work out for you. So yeah, so if you all have anything to say, I'll listen. Otherwise, we will move on. Yeah, R2 by R1 will be 1:4. It depends on which one you are finding out. If this is R1, this is R2, then it will be 4:1. If this is R1, this is R2, then it will be 1:4. It depends on what you are finding out. I have not defined here. I just say that it's the inverse ratio. If you're finding out this by this, then it's the inverse ratio. But greater power will be lost across a smaller resistance. So if R2 is this much, yeah, so 4:1. Yeah. I will send you everything. I will do that only after Wednesday. So please don't worry about it. Yeah, for the coming weekend test, it is current electricity. We are going to have a test on current electricity. We are going to have a test on current electricity for 2 weeks. So this week, the coming week, and the week after that. Both the weeks we will be doing current electricity. Okay, so 2 weeks we are going to have test only on current electricity. Nothing is going to change. Yeah, okay. So see you again. Here is the first slide. Here is the second slide. Here is the third one. Fourth one. Fifth one. Here is the sixth one. Here is the seventh one. Eighth one. Ninth one. This was the last slide that we worked with. Yeah, overall there will be a test. What is the portion for next weekend test? I repeat again, next weekend test, it is on current electricity. Okay. Yeah, bye.
Okay.